right. Thank you, people. Thank you, people, for tuning in to another episode of ReelRaw&Official TV. My name is Reg. Don't forget to add the writer. I have a very, very special guest this evening. I would like to introduce her as Mama Heron. That's what we're going to name her, and she is here for another episode. How we doing?
Hey, son. Mama Heron, what a name.
Yes, yes.
You know, that's funny. That's what Tiffany and Emeka call your neck.
For real?
They call her Mama Heron. Wow.
Nuh-uh.
On everything.
Oh, they really? So when they see this, they're going to be like...
It's just, it has to be...
That is
It
hilarious.
has to
I
be
didn't even know
natural.
that.
Wow. I
Well,
couldn't even leave that out. I'm sorry.
Well, that's something new, and you know, hey, that's something to carry on for the Herons, because that's one of the subjects I wanted to ask you to, honestly, is a little bit of your family name, like your history, like where does the Heron name come from? You know, from your understandings.
Well, I remember a while back. I'm gonna make it short because we don't have long, so I'm gonna get to the point.
It's fine.
Your Uncle Bobby.
Yeah.
He tried getting around to everybody to leave some inherited names, like the last people that were living, even the ones that were. Wait, hold on. Your Aunt May, your cousin Cora, Aunt Irene, Aunt Nuella, them back there. He gave me their names, their children's names, gave me everybody's names. He gave me everybody he could give me. And I remember him telling me, he said, back in the days, they couldn't really spell.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
think about it. Our last name, he told me just like this, and I thank him for it because I really want to look into that. He told me, he said our last name was originally Harrington. It was so long they couldn't spell it. So they just gave us Heron.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
That is insane.
And to be able to share this at this moment, it has to be, I take everything as a universe doing its job for Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All those requests, prayers that I prayed and asked for, I can't wait till he get up there to wherever he's going, even if it's not heaven when we think it could be straight ahead. We don't know. We just been led by the Spirit to believe.
Right. And I wish I would. I mean, I got to do a little bit more diving into our last name.
Yeah, because
Harrington. That's a way. It's a crazy way to.
The reason why it had to be meant to be said, because this is the beginning of the segment. We speaking and we talking and we getting some things out, and this had to be said because I've never really got a chance to tell anyone this.
Right.
And your Uncle Bobby made sure when he told me, he said, make sure if you need to, if you get a chance to get around to anybody else in the family and you bring it up, you let them know. Look into it. He said, all I can say was look into it because apparently he talked to Aunt Irene a while before she passed away. Your Aunt Net, she was really close out there around Aunt Irene and Aunt Essie, who I'm named after. So she got a chance to be around them, whatever part she heard about them, enjoyed. They were very fun people to be around, and I really enjoyed them.
I mean, I want to ask, how many siblings from your mom and dad do you have?
Like my brothers and sisters?
Yeah. Because I know you've told us, we've always been at 12 and then 7.
She had 12 pregnancies.
Okay.
8 living right now. Okay, when she had the 12 pregnancies, there was a baby passed away, from what I know. I could be wrong. I could talk to my sisters and brothers or whoever to get it out, but this was something I didn't talk to nobody about. Sometimes you gotta keep things to yourself and just pray about it and, you know, work on it, but
Right.
I would ask them one day down the line, but there was a child born first, then your Uncle Bobby.
And
Then
Uncle
there was
Bobby's the
another,
first
he's the,
right now.
right now. So then there was another kid after him that was passed away or however was not here.
Mm-hmm.
And then your Uncle Ronnie and on down the line. They didn't even know it'd be S.C. Della Pat, Susie Ronnie Bobby. I mean, it takes a heron to say that fast, and I know they gonna, if they ever listen to this,
It sounded like Mississippi. MISSISSPPI.
Yeah, and it's Net ain't nor B.S.C. Della Pat, Susie Ronnie Bobby.
Wow.
That's all of our names together. Some of us can say it right, some of us can get it wrong.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and it's the thing that you, when you grow with your family,
Yeah.
we can't really, well, I'm gonna say me.
That is so funny.
My mom being hard on us, she had her reasons. She had her reasons.
Yeah.
Because I had 3 kids, and I had my reasons. But when we look down the line, of course, you find it out after they pass away. So I'm letting you know through this how much I appreciate you taking this moment for me to share something about me and on down the line of somebody else.
Yeah.
I didn't get this with my mom. I could have, but we didn't have the access to all of this.
Yeah.
We didn't even have the, how can I want to say willpower
The courage
with
or-
each other, mainly courage. But I say willpower because we were kids. It was fun. We wanted to be around each other. We had moments where we didn't. Every kid do, but it was a lot of our asses in that room at one time.
Yeah.
I mean, mine was twisted, mine was straight, mine was crying, mine was happy, it was a lot going on with her just taking care of us by herself. That's why when they say it take a village to raise children,
Yeah.
that's not just a old saying down the line, oh him.
No.
Oh him, you can pull up in the book, it's a hymn, it's for everlasting. On down the line, somewhere somebody gonna sing a hymn.
Yeah. Right.
That's what that means.
Right. A little bit about your mom and dad. I mean, I know that you told us your dad
I was
in the
really
Navy.
young. I was really young
Right.
around my mom. So when I didn't get to know my dad. I was 2 when he passed.
Oh.
When he was in that casket, for me to remember something at 2 years old, and I kept thinking it was a dream in one moment in my life, because I didn't. Once we all went our own way and got grown and got out of the house,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't share too much with each other. But I listened a lot. I didn't have no choice because I always got cut off. I always felt like I wasn't heard.
Right.
But at that point of my mother in her life, knowing I didn't know her until after we got older, when we got out the house.
Right.
I don't want to do too much unnecessary talking.
It's not,
I mean, back
it's
in the
not.
days, they spared the rod. I'm just gonna be honest. They spared the rod. They believed in punishing your ass. Didn't really want to whoop you and hit you, because it was around that time when they started having a problem with parents whooping kids. People, filming people taking pictures. It was Kodak pictures. You take a picture and
Oh, the
shit
thing
come
that
right
jump-
out.
yeah.
Yeah. You got a picture, you got proof. And they started making it, people know, if they my age, they know where I'm already going with it. So it's a lot we got to catch up with. So I'm going to leave that part and go back to this. Lula Heron. I got to know her really well, but I didn't get to know my dad. I even got bold enough to even ask her questions about my dad. And she,
When you got older.
well, yeah, plus I had wind up doing a little in-home care for her.
Right. Right.
So, and I started being bold to ask questions. And that was a question I asked, how was our dad? I didn't even know how to ask it, but I just asked her. I said, how was our dad, Mom? I tried to play it off. Be happy and then like really serious and away from her, like back,
And she wasn't like.
She wasn't
She was-
aggressive like
she was
she didn't want to
strict,
hear it. No, she wasn't aggressive like she didn't want to hear it. She had her moments for whatever she went through and whatever she had to have some really serious hardship.
I mean,
because
that many kids, that's a lot.
we really know with my dad. Because
Oh.
even if we asked, even if we were separate and asked, I don't know stories about my family that really ask and know certain things about our dad from my mom. But I got a lot from Aunt Easter, which is her sister. I got a lot from Aunt Easter, you know.
Yeah. And she was the younger or older sister?
My mother was one of the old. Mom was the oldest. I think she was the oldest sister.
Now, just to dab into that a little bit, Granny, she had what, 2 sisters and a brother, or did she have one
She
sister?
had Aunt Easter and Aunt Alice, and then Uncle Prime
So it's 2 sisters
was the
and 1
brother. I'm thinking, I don't want to be wrong, if they ever see this video, Mom, from what I know, I believe Mom was the oldest sister.
Now, with your dad, as far as you do know, you don't know if you have any siblings or brothers and sisters that you know of, as far as...
Well, that was Aunt Nessie, Aunt Irene,
Really?
Aunt May. That's who we wound up going to Ohio to see.
That's his family?
That's his family.
Oh.
Yes. And Cousin Cora, I bring her up because she was older than me and she was an older person.
Yeah.
And she was really close around Aunt Irene. She was really close around where when I went to go see them, I went to Aunt Irene first, which is Cousin Cora's mom. So I got a chance to be around them. That's why I mentioned her a lot, because she was mentioned a lot around them.
Yeah.
And then Aunt Irene, I ventured out and went to Aunt Nessie to visit her. Then I got a chance to deal with Della and her husband was.
So is that where that's where that side of the family come from when you born out there in Ohio or just in that area? Is that because of your dad family being on that side more?
Oh yeah, I don't think we had nothing to do with Ohio. My mom and dad was originally from Mississippi. So however dad and mom met.
What part of Mississippi?
You're asking the wrong question. It's okay, there's something to look up.
I mean, I didn't know Mississippi. That's even
I don't know it. I
or
don't
something.
know it right off. I mean, really don't. I know they got Monroe, Mississippi. They got Jackson, Mississippi. Byron, Mississippi.
Yeah.
They have a lot of different parts of Mississippi. Be surprised. Just look at it like Regina did. She went all the way back. I'm so proud of her.
Right.
She went all the way back to Nigeria, and that, that's
South Carolina and stuff.
yeah,
like
that means a lot to them too. You never know.
No.
But as far as the dad concerned, when I did go out there to Ohio and didn't get a chance to get around Aunt Nessie, it was beautiful. It was wonderful with Aunt Irene.
Yeah.
But it was like Cleveland was just like Wachuca City compared to Sierra Vista.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I'm going where the action is. It was just.
It ain't over here.
Yes, and she didn't mind. She didn't mind it. She was like, "Go and see your sister." She was so excited. I was too.
Right.
Which is your Aunt Della.
Oh.
But yeah, as far as Aunt Nessie's side of the family with my dad, I would have loved to got to shoot.
And
I got a chance to meet your Uncle Lonnie. Hold on, Uncle Lonnie's wife name is Auntie Priscilla.
Oh, homie.
Your Uncle Luke. Oh, I better not get this wrong. Wait a minute. What was Uncle Luke's wife's name? Priscilla, I think. And then Uncle Lonnie's wife's name was, I might have them wrong. No, I do. Uncle Lonnie was Aunt Irene's husband. Uncle Lonnie was Aunt Irene's husband. Uncle Luke's wife is Auntie Priscilla. And then Aunt May and Cousin Cora. I didn't know the other significant other because Aunt Irene's husband passed away since then. And their names are the ones that's on it. I have little slips like this. And it's like Aunt May, and I have Aunt May's husband. I have her husband first, then Aunt May, then their children, and then her grandkids, because some of them had kids.
Right.
which is Aunt May's, one of her grandkids is Ronnie. His name is Ronnie.
There's a whole lot of Ronnies in the family.
Oh yeah, and Alani.
Ronnie and Lonnie.
Mm-hmm.
Lonnie, I like that name.
Yeah.
That name is a nice name. I mean, Ronnie is cool.
Aunt Irene, granddaughter was, one of her granddaughters was, just had her name. I ought to be saying myself.
So many names.
No, and I had their names so down. All of their names is on this slip, and once I get all of that, I wanted to present it to one of y'all, which I would prefer to give it to you because what you're doing, and somebody need to have all those names.
Yeah.
Because when Uncle Bobby gave those names to me, he was, I think it was right after he had a heart attack. So he was trying to, maybe a year or two, something later, he was trying to get it out there, and I appreciated that so much from him because if he hadn't gave me all the names, all these names, and all the names that's with the families,
Yeah.
like Donna Jean. Donna Jean is Uncle Lonnie and Aunt Irene's daughter, and then you got Marcia that Erica know, which is Donna Jean's daughter.
Oh.
Since Erica been out there, she wind up meeting Marcia, and Tish know Marcia, which is your Aunt Delicate. And I mean, I have all of this that I need to really
This
share
is hitting
and take
out.
the time out. Yeah, that's why I'm trying not to lose my stuff in storage right now, because all of that's in storage and it's in paperwork. I didn't keep that much paperwork. I got rid of a lot of stuff that I didn't need to take.
Right.
Wasn't no need in traveling with all that. Old bills, didn't have no idea how long I was keeping in there, but as far as those names, and the names are with their children, Aunt Nessie had one child, which was Billy Lamb. Billy Lamb was Aunt Essie, and Aunt Nessie's husband. Okay, I'm too much. I'm getting so excited to where I can just talk so much and just.
It's fine, because I didn't know all those things, you know? I mean, just knowing about your mom and your dad is still some new stuff that I just learned right now about them.
There's no reason. There's no reason for somebody to share that, because the electronics, the internet, all of this give us so much privilege to do it from compared to the way they couldn't even, they just had phones where when I went out there, it wasn't even a two-way, the landline. It was just a phone. If you called and they were still on the phone, you bong, 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 the phone sounded like it's busy all day, you know? So being appreciative for what we have right now, look at this here. I leave it at home because it's really heavy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's heavy. But it's just going with the flow of what's happening in the universe right now. And I say the universe because there's a lot of people ignore no matter what. If the universe gave up on us, we float away from here. We don't know where we'll go.
I mean, when it do come to...
Even your mind, even just your mind.
Yeah.
Your mind, your thoughts, your belief, because you be so focused on where we going, everything just go away.
Right.
And I have to say, back with your grandmother and your granddad, which is my mother and her husband, I would love to have been able to share more. And then think of this: every brother and sister of mine has a different story too. They have a different story that is a little, I can say, well, I'm trying to say a word that would make a lot of sense, because we all biddies right now. Us women in the family, we are biddies. We are old biddies. We are past our 60s. Everybody in the family is past 60.
Yeah.
Or 60, and it's just a grateful thing to say right now, because there's a lot of family members didn't make it. There's a lot of people didn't make it. My mother was young. She was young, 59.
59.
When I made 59, I cried like a baby, not realizing why, but when I did, it was to acknowledge her
Right.
when I made 60.
Right. And it's still, and that's the best part about this here setting is I wanted to capture just it randomly. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying that this whole thing was randomly. It was all brewing from years ahead that this is how I acknowledge God, where it comes around. Because
That's
it's
why I
like,
worked so hard for your dad to be in his life and thinking I had the rightful person in my life. You can't never think you had the right or the bad
I
person.
mean,
in
speaking
your
about
life.
that, let me ask, how did y'all meet? Honestly, how did y'all originally meet? Where is he from? Like Jerry Allen, how? Because that tells a story about us,
Mm-hmm.
and things that we didn't know.
Well, when you caught up, it's only so much you can really. It's only so much you can really say about that person, whether how long you be with him or not.
Yeah.
And I never found out where he was from. I know he was from L.A., California. That
So
part.
pretty much Watts.
Right.
If in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Or Inglewood. Because, I just feel like when it came down to those times in Los Angeles, Inglewood was a suburb, sort of.
Well, his was
I'm not
his
mistaken.
mom lived
Still the hood, but
53rd and something like in L.A. She stayed in L.A. and she kept the house. It was like our mom. We was trying to get our mom to keep that house.
oh, so he was over there in the 50s, and he might not even be from Watts.
Mm-mm.
Or he might be from Watts. His mom might be from somewhere else in Compton.
I know it's in L.A. I know it's
Yeah.
in L.A., but I can't remember it all because I blocked him out so much
Throughout.
to move on
Yeah. Right.
and to get over things. That's
Right.
why I appreciate you guys at an adult age to still be able to listen to me when you're going through things with other people. And I try to set an example. I'm not single by choice. I'm single because there's no reason for me to fall in no trap with somebody else that I have to go through changes with. Right now at this point, I'm so grateful to be focused to when any of my grandkids come to me, they can come to me. I ain't got no other baggage right now.
Yeah.
People
Man.
right now, when you keep trying to do it yourself, because I'm not putting everybody down. Everybody is not the same. No way in the hell I'm not going to say that. Everybody's not the same.
Right.
But the people that I wind up having in my life, that I pick to be in my life, they wind up being people that's not in my life right now. Enough to where if you ain't gotta put them down, you ain't gotta say nothing. It's just right there. They're not with me right now.
Right.
Being able to have a key and leave and go over there to my apartment and be in that house by myself is a total blessing. It's called isolating, finding yourself, trying to do it right, the best of your knowledge, and being there for your children, your family. I don't feel like we was put here for too much and nothing else. When we go through other things with other people, that's because we want to. It's what they call it, a fetish, a thing that you just want to do. Some people just want to loud shout. Some people want to
Sometimes,
vent.
it's a phase that people go through where you good and sometimes it goes wrong, and most times if it
Some
goes
people
wrong,
can't
it
help
goes
it.
all the way
Yeah.
wrong. It never turns back around. And that's and that's just life, without family. And that's why, I was thinking about the things you just about Jerry, just y'all relationship. Like, was it?
It was
Y'all didn't meet in high school, Joe.
no. I actually met him.
I'm gonna
I
say.
actually met him.
I don't know.
I actually met him venturing out on my own as an adult, living around most of my family off of Figueroa. And there was some nice apartments over there that we all rented. We wound up, a couple of us being over there together. And around the corner, there was Jerry and Bernardo, which was Bernardo's house and Deborah's house. And we went around there. One day I was going to the store, we met.
And that's our
And
ties.
it went from there with
Rest in
your
peace.
Uncle Ronnie.
Also, gotta say, rest in peace to Uncle Junebug. He passed 3 days ago. Not as of currently, but
the day that he
the day,
passed
yeah.
was 3 days ago.
Yeah, so that was the 30th. So just to iterate that, this is another special moment because the only way we know him is through you.
Right.
You know, and that's where that story come in. But go ahead, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You
No,
said,
no, no, that's
Ronnie.
great you said that because I want to say the same thing about your Uncle Ronnie. He got to know him. They got to know each other. They basically one day didn't realize they were outdoing each other's music. They didn't realize it. And there was an elementary school right across the street. And they had them come over and tell them to turn it down, but they did.
Are you talking about like blasting the music?
Yeah, when he was
about.
barbecuing, he blasted, he had his music up. And then they on their side, they playing their music, but Bernardo never wanted to be like an interrupted person because my brother played some good music. And so did he. So one day they just came around, and then he took a chance and he went around. And that's how we got to know each other.
Wow.
And rest in peace, your Uncle Ronnie, because he really truly loved my brother a lot. He was there when all of that happened, when he lost his life and everything. Bernardo was right there.
Because it was on Fig, right?
Mm-hmm. It was right around the corner.
Rest in peace to Uncle Ronnie, yeah, definitely. Just to state that part. But that's another good history. But you say you met Jerry there.
That's where I met Jerry. Thinking he was
Kicking
single.
it.
Thinking he was single.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and wasn't. Totally got
Right
family
now-
as most of.
And right
He's
now,
lucky
my
you
life,
see this man.
and I'm just going to be honest, my life is not a lie. I always try to live my truth. I accepted Christ as my Savior as a young age, didn't really realize it, but I was just, when the pastor said it, the way he said it, and me as a kid, he said, being good and having good come around you.
Right.
And I heard that. That's all I wanted. And I got up and I received that. And I tried to keep that around me at the same time. So I just could not stay around bad. I tried to. I tried to even help people. I was most popular.
Most of the places that you have told us and explained, like even when we spoke about, me and Regina, when we spoke about in the last video, where she was talking about the traumas of having, being pregnant around certain environments.
I was at your Aunt Sue's house on 93rd in San Pedro upstairs. So I'm upstairs, I can see all of the different places just on fire, and I'm just holding y'all.
During the riots?
Yes, that's when it kicked off.
This Ronnie King joint,
yes,
right? Yeah.
That's when it kicked off, because when I went in
labor. He was actually, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, when I went in labor, it was all that happening, but I didn't get to see it. We wasn't watching it every day when that really jumped off. So the part that we did get to see, I was in the hospital. It was Easter. I had y'all on Good Friday of that year. It was April 17th,
Yeah.
1992.
Yeah.
And April 17th was Good Friday that year. That's why I tease y'all and say y'all have 2 birthdays.
It was.
And
Go
it was
back
2
in the
babies, so I was like, okay, one of y'all can take one of y'all can take the other year. But
as far as the Good Friday birthday,
yeah,
the real
I
birthday.
tell one, y'all was twins. And you came on 2 different days. Right now you have 2 different days on a calendar. You literally do. Your birthday was last Friday. Whatever day Good Friday came on, that day y'all was born on that day.
Yeah.
Of Good Friday. But it was just the 17th. So when the 17th come, you still have another day. So it's 2 of y'all.
I mean, 2 of us mean 2 birthdays.
Exactly. So that's why y'all thought it was a joke. Y'all thought I was just teasing y'all. And I would say, which one of y'all take one? One take this. We've taken the 17th. I said, okay.
We don't even remember. I couldn't tell you, I couldn't remember that. But you're a twin yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so your mom had 3 sets of twins.
2 sets.
2. You and Aunt B, and then Aunt Nora,
Aunt
Nat, and Aunt Uncle Anthony.
Mm-hmm. And then Erica had a set of twins.
And then Erica, which is Aunt Sue's daughter,
Mm-hmm.
which is your older sister, or the oldest,
May
even
she rest in peace. She's the older sister. You're right. Your Uncle Bobby the oldest.
even if she was still here, she'd be the oldest of you guys' sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, the
So
oldest
right
sister.
now your Aunt Pat, the older sister.
Right.
Then your Aunt Della, then me, then your Aunt B, and then your Aunt Nora, then your...
I forgot you was older than Aunt B. You older than Aunt B, huh?
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
Are you? I don't know.
Yes, I am, but I'm trying to. Is Anthony older than that? Older than Anthony? Oh.
I think ain't that. I don't
No,
know.
I think Heron older than you ain't that. I
How many
think they're
minutes?
12 minutes apart.
12,
Mm-hmm.
and then you and B is 30,
A half hour, lazy ass.
38, and then rest in peace, Erica. She hurt her one of hers passed.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting thing. That's 1, 2, 3. That's 4 sets of twins in one family. Well, 5, including Erica's kids.
Well, don't forget about Paul and Trisha ain't these the kids. Paul and Trisha.
That's
Well,
you on the set.
That's my mother's sister. Anissa is your
Right.
your great auntie, and her kids, which is Velma, Trisha, Paul, Tim, Michael Jones, all of them.
Oh, so one
Their
of them.
youngest sister and brother, Paul and Trisha, are twins.
So that's another set of twins.
Yes.
Shout out to them. I cannot wait to like put this all in the collective to really just be all mashed up, because that's just different historical family things. Like what's their last name? 'Cause we got Heron,
Jones,
Jones, Smith. Obviously Allen, but that'll be our side.
Mhm.
We're talking about your mom and her.
Well, ain't Easter Jones, cause she married Uncle. Uncle Lee is Jones. So if she wasn't a Jones, she would be Robinson.
Now that's when Moreno Valley come in. Not the living, but Susie and them. That's where her family.
Well,
interacted with
and
Jones.
Alice is Susie's mom. And Alice is.
But Jones is where that came from.
And Alice Jones. And Alice Jones, and then Susie Jones, until she got married to Leroy. She
Right, okay,
Susie
Robinson.
Jones Robinson.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's a whole lot. That's why I'm telling you, all those slips.
That is
I have
insane.
all the names with everybody's children. Like Susie, I have Alvin and Sandra. They
Yeah.
have no children. I have Velma, all her children. Then Velma wind up having grandkids. So I started putting them, because I was actually around to be around some of them. Carl, Yolanda, Chucky, CJ,
Right, them.
all of them. Yeah,
Right.
I was around all of that family of ours. And then, which is Anissa, that would be Velma, Ronnie Jones, Jashawn, Timmy, Michael, Charlie, and Paul. And then Trisha Jones and Diane and Velma.
Damn.
So-
I know those, some of them names, but not all of them.
Yeah, and that's the thing about having, and I even got to know Diane's kids. I know Sandy Jones. I know Michael Jr., which is Sandy's older brother. Marcus. Marcus was around Fat, which
Okay.
is Trisha Jones' kids,
Okay.
which is Monique
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
And Monique's mom is the twin.
Really?
Paul, she have a brother, Paul, I don't know, Paul stayed way out somewhere. They are twins. They're them the twins. Trisha Jones, she have a twin brother.
That is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes down, I mean that's a lot of family that I didn't even.
Well,
names.
once you get a load of all this and take your time and do it, once I get to my storage, I know those are things that I put in storage because I didn't want to lose.
Right.
Here and traveling with it and stuff like that.
Now, I want to say,
What that is?
When it comes to, like, when in high school, or just after the Jerry thing, Ronnie, or just your first kid,
Mm-hmm.
like, was that, now I'm asking you something I don't really know. Like, how was it? Because I remember mine with Aries.
Well, it
know.
was one of the most beautiful moments in my life, because I was like, oh, I found me a guy. I'm pregnant. Ooh, wee.
You was like, what?
I'm
how
one
old?
day, well, maybe we're gonna get married. He was a liar.
He was like, what? How old you was when you had Ronnie?
I was 24.
24.
I think I was 24 going on 25. I wound up being 25 when I did have him. Because I always said I wasn't going to have no child until I got 24.
Oh.
I said, when I get 24, I don't want to, if my life go different, I don't want to have no child until I'm 24 and older.
Right.
And
That's
which
like
that
a
happened.
grown type
Which
of-
it happened. Didn't know I manifested in it happened because I was so serious. But
Yeah.
I felt to be married. I didn't want to be married. I felt I should be married.
Right.
Because who wouldn't want a child growing up with their mom and dad?
Right. And you, like you said he already had
Another family, and then
Another whole
once
family.
I told him I was pregnant, he was like, "Oh no!" And I don't,
Really?
I kind of understood once he started telling me the truth.
Oh.
Think
wow.
about it. Once you start telling somebody the truth, I'm sitting on the bottom of the stairs. You ain't be up there at the top of the stairs trying to cheer me up, not knowing what I'm crying for. And then once he found out, that's your body. Don't hurt yourself. He wasn't no mean person. He wasn't no devious person. Oh, you go get an abortion. You gonna mess. He wasn't none of that. He was none of that. I moved along. I said, I don't know you that well, and I'm not finna go through this.
And you only had one kid outside. I mean,
No, he had Jerry Jr.,
Right. One.
Daniela. They're the only two kids I think he had that I know.
That you know of.
Yeah.
Right. So he got 5 in total, technically, because he had those 2, which will be older than Ronnie, right?
Yeah, they very much older than him.
And you got Ronnie.
7 years. Jerry Jr. is 7 years older than Ronnie, and Ronnie's 7 years older than y'all.
Wow.
And Daniela, I don't know her age really, but I know she's younger. And they're very, very
That number 7 is
very significant. That's why I'm saying that when I received God, I believe I was in the 7th grade.
right.
Because I was old enough to know, and I got up on the church, and it was like, sit down before you get us in trouble. My mother
You get us in trouble.
yeah, because we all sat on one line. And that one day, my mom said, let her go up there.
But just be real,
Because
like.
my mother was an usher. She was standing with that arm like that. She
Waiting for one mishap.
Well, your Uncle Ronnie gave a mishap. He sat right there. He was right on the corner, right where she stood, and fell asleep. She slapped him so hard. She slapped him woke. She slapped him so hard. Well, she wasn't trying to slap him so hard, but she slapped him woke.
Yeah, going to sleep
Because
in
he
her
fell
church.
asleep.
That's a no-no. So, let me see. I don't know. Let me check out what we got. Oh, we're good. We at 35, 30. No, wait. We're about 40 minutes in. So that's around the equivalent of the last video.
Well, I can
I'ma
say
edit that out.
I can say one thing. Your parents, your grandparents,
Another 10 minutes. We're good.
your grandparents. Once I'm gonna throw this in there real quick. Once you see this new movie, Moses, and that Noah, it'll give you a different perspective on our generation, my generation. Our generation, if I was in Ohio, which I was, and my mother told me to get my ass back here in California, best way I could, I did it. And it happened. I was scared. And the scared I was not to hurt her or not to give her something else to go off on me about or do something like when we went to school, we had to be at home at 3 o'clock. School got out at
In the
3.
daytime.
School got out at 3. So it wasn't no lollygagging, no thinking you can do this and thinking you can do that. And I tip my hat to my sister Pat, my sister Sue, and my brother Ronnie, what I didn't know about him. I tip my hat to them. They strived hard to not to disrespect my mom and give her a worry that 15 minutes after 3 they not there or this and that. They didn't give her that.
They got there.
They got home. And to say all of that is, my mother had her reasons. She had her reasons. She raised the hell out of us.
I mean, look
She
at
really
where,
did. Your grandmother
look
did.
where you
Your
guys
grandmother wasn't around. My grandmother.
Yeah.
Your great-great-grandmother.
Yeah.
My mother's mother wasn't really around. Whatever reason she had for what she did, she did it. She was who she was. She was a very strong black woman.
What's her name?
Reebie Robinson. Your Aunt Sue named after her.
Oh, you're right. I remember you saying that.
Her name is Reebie.
Right.
And to say all of that, put all that in real quick, they were great people from what I know. I mean, look what my mom did with me. I have a pretty good head on my shoulder.
That's what I was going to
The head that I have right here, it's not like a bad thing. I don't think bad. I don't do things to make people just like shut me out or what's she talking about? What is she saying anything about God for she ain't living it? Yes, I do.
When you're kind, or when people actually have an idea of who you are, and then we're talking about 10, 20, even 30 years of relationship, people, get in the habit of looking at you in a certain light.
Yeah,
You know,
and it starts showing off on you too. So
and when you get older, those habits they're not really going to change as you get older. So if you have friends that you were in your 30s and late 20s, friendship with, and you're in your 50s, 60s, still have those as your friends, whatever y'all have mashed between those 20, 15 years, it ain't going to really change. The only thing that'll change will be just the increase of what they are now.
yeah, and then don't forget about the older you get, you start losing your hearing, you start losing your
And that's where the
your
increase, I'm saying.
and that's what I appreciate about my sisters and my brothers, even your brother, Ronnie.
Yeah.
When they want to know something and they don't remember, they actually would call me, and I don't think they really understood what that meant to me because I would really tell them what it was. I would remember.
Probably not. I mean, when you call someone and you'd be like, oh, let me think of something like, let me ask such and such. They don't really iterate though what that does until you're no longer here. Mm-hmm. So those things, they definitely are special.
And know that your grandmother, you take a look at it on your own and analyze all of your aunties and your uncles and see where they are and see where they at. That didn't just come from us. It came from our mothers instilling in us and being strong and being hard and not giving a damn how we felt what she was doing right then and there, because at that moment she couldn't dumb me down on us. Like, she had to be firm and to the point. She didn't get a chance to have people over her house on the weekend and they sit and have dominoes. My mother didn't do that around us. None of us can tell you my mother did that. My mother went to church and to work.
That's it.
She went to church and to work.
If you ain't churching and you ain't going to work.
And she did everything she could to understand the church, don't get me wrong. And she ventured out to the Eastern Stars, and she was great at it.
Right.
Your grandmother was great at it.
Right. And that's another part of history.
That's another thing Regina was trying to get in.
I mean, you always can, involve yourself in stuff. I don't think she really took the next step to get involved. But I thought about my knowledge of it and
being a Mason.
Yeah, I thought about it.
And that is an Eastern Star, and she was great at it.
The only thing I thought about it was because I didn't have official knowledge. Like if that's the conversation I have with Ain't and stuff like that, I would love to have with her and stuff. But that's just on that basis. But
yeah, but nowadays you on your own. Everybody on your own.
Oh, yeah,
just like
sure.
what we're doing right now. We don't need to be in no
fraternity,
Time Warners, no
fraternity.
what is that called? Epic Records. We don't need none of that.
No, we do need them. Don't say that.
I'm saying right now. What we're doing right now.
They need to see this
started.
is real.
Hold on. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't do this when they got started with Epic Records and those labels. They did what they did. Needed them to do. Yeah, they did. That's why P. Diddy's so caught up. And not to put him in and not to say that, but it's a lot of people being exposed. So these leaders like you guys that I'm considering and hoping and praying that you stay on the level where you don't discourage people out of it like P. Diddy and Jay-Z, all these guys, whoever they're naming, they know who they are. They've been exposed for a reason because it's the good outweighs the bad.
It does.
And give it a chance. It don't have to be religion. It doesn't have to be none of that.
When you're doing something for so long, habits, I said it all
They
the time.
just took all of they leadership. They just took all of that and just.
But habits is hard to, bad habits are hard to stop. You can have a coffee habit, a shopping habit. You can have a I'm not cleaning up habit. You can have a smoking habit, a drinking habit.
Of course.
Bad habits. And when I say bad, all of those ones that I just said, far as names, those are not bad habits. It's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Yes.
So if you overdo any of those habits, those become a bad habit, especially when it transitions into your personal life. Like you know, you're drunk all the damn time and you don't want to do nothing.
Do nothing.
Job.
Yeah, and that's another thing I'm talking about. What I really mean to say is their moment of being leaders.
Yeah.
They went a little too far. And if you went a little too far, it was meant for you to be exposed because somewhere along the line, the universe is trying again to let us enjoy some of what we're doing to pass it down. We are not going to live forever.
Yeah.
So all these leaders are being exposed to where, even if they're not being exposed to where they're going to jail or prison, they're being exposed enough to where you out of the question now. Now we're moving on to somebody else because I used to kind of not put the media down. I used to just stay off of it because it was too much.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't exposed, we would not know a lot of this.
Especially
so when that guy kept saying, hit the like button, hit the like button, he's saying it for a reason.
Definitely hit the like button.
Or share. Please subscribe. Thank you very much to the ReelRaw&Official TV.
Gotta add that in there.
I found out today, his hitting the like button is his job now. It's like if you hitting the like button, it's making more people go on the page to look so we can help this situation.
Right.
With these generations coming up. They don't deserve to just be lost through mankind.
Well,
on that note, for your grandchildren and their children and their children and so forth and so
down
forth,
the line.
right? Because the internet is never going away.
It's never
what we're
going
doing
away.
here is going to be a historical thing 10 years down the line. What is it? What would be just anything, not a message, just a statement, just this part right here. What would you say to your grandchildren when they get older, just now, just something about you that you could leave with them? What would it be?
Wow.
It could be anything.
What I can leave from my heart is never think that you ever can't listen. Never think that you can't listen. Listen. If you're listening, you know how to resonate with what you're listening to automatically. Stay focused. Stay true to yourself. I wasn't taught that I can be true to Essie. If I'm true to Essie, I'm automatically going to be true to everybody. If I love and tell myself, and I do this now, a whole lot. Essie, I love you so much. I promise you I could tell somebody else I love them. Yeah. I tell my children all the time, I get out the phone, I don't tell them I love you. What is love you? No, I love you. Some people do that and they're used to it and they're comfortable. But words have life. I have a meaning with those words. If I left here today, I can literally say thank you, God, for saving me. Saving me to be around my grandkids, my kids. At least 2 of them.
Right.
The third one I can still call, I can still check on him and all that. But I want my grandkids and my children, I want my children to instill in them love yourself. It's okay to tell yourself you love yourself. Regina tells Denava to do that all the time. Hug yourself. Denava hug herself in a minute.
Right.
I love me.
Yeah.
Tony Braxton, I love me some me.
Right.
But she said him, but I love me some me. My grandkids mean a lot to me. I'm not finna intervene. I'm not finna step on nobody's toes. I'm not finna kiss no ass. I'm not finna run. I'm not finna chase. My days of that is over.
Right.
What is here right now is respecting who I'm around, what I'm around, and what I'm doing, and who I'm around it doing it around. I'm gonna respect that, so my grandkids can keep that going. They have to. You have to realize who they're around right now. None of them is around us right now. So that's another prayer for me. In my prayer room, it's another prayer that my children might not be praying.
Right.
So I'm praying. A family that prays together stay together. I believe that. So yes, the things that I want my grandkids to hear is something. If it don't make sense, it's positive. If it don't make sense and it's positive, make sense out of it. It's nothing bad. Sometimes we ignore things. Sometimes we go through things. Sometimes we blame.
Right.
Sometimes, especially blame.
Right.
But I'm covered. I'm covered. I'm protected. Like I said, if I left here today, if I left here and died today, God is my witness. All the help that I had from a lot of people, I did on purpose. I did on purpose so it can come back to me when I'm gone, and it can be my kids. All the drama, all the bad stuff, all the traumatizations, all the disrespectful things that happen to me through friends, family members, I've already asked God to forgive me and to forgive them. Be thy removal, be thy cast in the sea.
Right.
If you know in your heart and you trust and you believe, don't perpetrate with him. Don't tell nobody nothing dumb and go back in the house and do something different. No. I want to be as close as I can to the hem of his garment. Whether I go to church, whether I sit at your house and fellowship with you, whether I sing, whether I do whatever somebody else wants. I am grateful to have the grandkids I have and to be able to have this moment to say from Reese, Aries, Janava, Raquel, and Ronald Jr. And I went from baby on up.
Right.
Those grandkids mean something to me, and I want to mean something to them.
And you do.
And I feel like the time has come because it's so many. Think about, and this, I want to leave with this because it's a lot of people is hurting from this. All these stars, and I mean they went all the way back to the 60s. All these stars that have lost their place in being leaders. It's not over. It's just begun. And I appreciate you and Regina being leaders in the ways y'all being, and as respectful as you can. But now we need to let some of these children lean on some of these subjects.
Right.
And be able to start calling in and giving a point of views. And excuse me, and I had a situation that happened with me like this with my auntie. Just, can you tell me this? You tell me that. It's time for them to start being heard, knowing that it's okay to be heard, even if you just in the library.
And that's what this platform is based off of. This platform is
Look
based
how
off
young
of
our
people to be
grandkids are.
heard. Yeah.
They have a long way to go to get a teenager's age what they going through now.
Yeah.
Like EJ.
Like 10 years. I mean, shoot, she got another 10 years before
Yes.
she's fully at the peak of
They're
around
not
where
forgotten.
we are.
They're not forgotten.
But I do want to say, Mom, I really appreciate you sitting down and doing this. I'm sure we probably had around an hour now. Everything that you have laid on me, and then those who do and will see this video, I truly appreciate it. It's something that I feel that will transitions into something very powerful. Not only just meaningful,
I
just
appreciate
powerful.
it too. I appreciate it too.
This is an
I
eye.
really do.
This is an eye into, you know, the extended family that don't know the some of the stuff,
That's
and
significant.
we can't even, as much as information we have, we couldn't even do it in one setting. So this was great and amazing, and I have to just tell you, I really appreciate it. And I love you, Mama Heron, for coming in. This is a pleasant evening, you guys. I really appreciate for who all tunes into this video. We're gonna wrap it up with the ReelRaw&Official TV today.
Yes.
Please
Thank you so much.
like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do. This was an amazing setting. Again, this was with Mama Heron and your boy Reg. We're just going to see things out with a great positive note, and we're going to end it with God on our heart. You know, to the Most High, we appreciate this opportunity. I do. And this is going to be generational for me and what I'm kicking off, and you know, to my son and to any other young family member, niece and nephew, if they pick it up, and when they do pick it up, they can do their own thing. But this is for what this is. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Everyone have a wonderful rest of the evening. ReelRaw&Official TV. Graduation. I would toast. We would toast, but we ain't gonna have
Okay.
We're not
It's
gonna,
all good.
we're not gonna do all that. But thank you everybody for tuning in. Real Raw.
I love you, Harold.
Yeah.
Nothing else to rest. Protect your soul is the only path go, and you better know.